I can start. I watched the film yesterday, and I thought your performance was just incredible, and it was so superb. I was just going to ask. I mean, in your eyes, in the character's eyes, we can see her falling in love, but there's always a bit of hesitation. Maybe, you know, when she's. And I just wondered how challenging and testing that was for you to kind of play a character so in love, but a character always quite apprehensive at the same time.
You know what? I can have the same feeling with love. It's very risky to fall in love. It's maybe especially, or maybe not actually, with a married man. Maybe not because you quite know how the story will go. Maybe it won't. Maybe he will leave his wife. It's possible, but it's a small possibility. So the risky thing for me, it was natural. Sometimes you're totally in love and then you go back. For me, it was the danger in it. I completely understood it very easily.
So what was the initial attraction to this project? What was the thing that made you think, right, I have to do this next?
It was right away. First, I was, you know, Annie Ernaux is very famous in France, and I read a lot of her books, and they all have this kind of, they're very precise, and they talk about not all the time, but sometimes they talk about what it is precisely to be a woman, sometimes to be a married woman, sometimes to have an abortion, depends on the book. And it's so when you read it, you feel you read something from a sister. You know, it's you feel very close to the writer, and at the same time, you don't feel very at ease. You feel disturbed. So, and I like this feeling, and I would love to see films that put me in that kind of state. And so I would also love to play characters in this kind of stories. And then I met Danielle, and Danielle, she had problems to find her actors. Part of the reason was that there was a lot of nudity. And she talked to me right away about that. She said, you have to know there are a lot of nudity, because for me it's very important to talk about how what is going on in the bed scenes. There are 8 different bed scenes, and they are all different. And it's very important for me to talk about what's going on psychologically in this. It's 8 different relations, actually. The relationship is moving all the time, and you can see it in the nude scenes, in the love scenes. And I think it's fantastic, because I'm tied up, I'm fed up with the way we show sexual intercourses in film. It's stupid, and it doesn't talk about anything. So right away I say I want to do it. And I had the chance that she really wanted to do it with me also. So it was a match at first sight.
Yeah, because I mean, you mentioned obviously when you do have scenes, lots of sex scenes and nudity, you must need so much trust with your filmmaker. So it must be so helpful for you that you could trust Danielle to present and depict these moments in a really respectful way to you, but also to the characters.
Exactly. And what was also very important is that it's the personality of Sergei. Because I don't know. I know he looks like he says very stupid things from my point of view sometimes in the social networks. But as you have a dog.
Yeah, sorry. Doorbell just went.
He's very cute. But he's very respectful, and he's from the dance, so he sees things in a choreographic way, not a psychological way. So it was really so easy to build the scenes together. We just had fun. It was like doing doing a painting or a choreography all together. Because also Danielle was very precise about what she wanted in each scene. It was very well described, and every morning we had pictures that she had taken, I don't know, in non-golden pictures or from intimacy, from different films. And so the mood of the scene was very clear. And also, maybe you have to know that we started with these scenes, which was a very good idea, I think, because all the film is about missing this man. So it's good to start with this man and then to have to play without him, because that's the story. And well, I don't know. It was the easiest part. I think the most difficult part was bringing back feelings about despair, of despair, of kind of a loss of reality. This was kind of disturbing, and also it's what I like in my job.
Yeah,
because
I was going to ask, I mean, sometimes in love we lose dignity in some ways. With obsession, people can become so ugly. And I was wondering about letting those emotions be so free on screen, because often these are the emotions we keep the closest to us, that we're so afraid of showing. But in this character, you had to show all of those emotions, because the character loses her. She's quite undignified at times, isn't she?
She is. And it's a very independent woman. Was like she's a teacher in university, writer. So no, she has a social position, very strong social position, and still she loses her dignity. Yeah, but so what does she win in that? I think she recovers her body. She recovers. She discovers things about herself that she hadn't the room to discover before. And she questions herself a lot. But she could have completely lost her mind.
I was wondering, do you think that she even likes him? Do you think that, I mean, she loves him, but do you think she likes him?
It's a very good question, because it's a question about what is love, no? What is love? And I don't have the answer. But what I know is that sometimes you can meet someone and you kind of recognize each other, even if there is no word to express it, no space to live this love, except bed. So is it love? Is it not love? I don't know. But I think it might be something to live.
But do you think maybe the fact that she couldn't quite catch him, do you think that fueled her obsession? You're
right. I think the fact that she can't, I think it's very difficult to catch someone, actually. Even if you see him more, even if you live with him, sometimes he does something and you're like, what? He can do this in positive or negative way. It's difficult to catch someone. But she has a lot of space to dream, actually, in this story. That's true.
So you mentioned working with Sergei. I've interviewed him before for a movie he did with Ray Fiennes a couple of years ago, and you can tell he takes his career very seriously. He's very dedicated to performance and to the arts. So how was it? I mean, you've sort of touched upon it already, but how was it working with him? Because unlike most movies, this was very intense, I imagine, where it's just the two of you in nearly all of your scenes.
Sergei, I think he was playing the Russian guy, in this part. That was his part. So he has to play that he has no feelings. He doesn't show any feelings, and he was very good at it. And also, he had a lot of work because he doesn't speak French, so he had to learn everything phonetically, and sometimes he was speaking at the wrong moment, the wrong way, and it was very, very funny. But I think he has the personality, if other parts come, to become a great actor as a dancer, because he has all these different colors in him. He has a lot of innocence, a lot of darkness, a lot of wildness, and also he's very polite. He has very different colors in him that all these colors couldn't be shown in that part, because that part he was wanted as a rock. And I think as he works, he could be as a great actor as he is a great dancer, because in his dance he can show everything. He shows already all these colors. It's just a different medium. So he has the personality, and now he needs this kind of parts, and I'm sure he could become like a very profound, very, very good actor.
I was wondering about yourself being able to draw parallels to the scenario that the character has. And I was wondering, do you think that because the character is going through quite a brief, quite an intense relationship, could you draw comparisons to acting? Because when you work on a movie for a few weeks or a few months, it's nonstop, every single day, and then it's gone and the project is over. And I just wondered if that kind of that attachment you might have to fellow actors and actresses was something you could draw on.
Actually, what I can draw on is that you learn something about yourself in a part. You're not the same person at the beginning and at the end when it's very important for you. And I think in this kind of passion, maybe you understand it a little bit later, but you earn something you discover something of yourself. Of course, it's very intense. And of course, it ends. But everything ends, actually. It could last longer. When you play a part in a theater play, it lasts a little bit longer. When you write, it lasts longer, but it has an end. When you write an article, it has an end. Things have an end. It could be even death if you're lucky, or maybe not. But so yeah, it shows that things have an end. And in my job, things have a short living. Yeah, but actually, no. Because a lot of directors I worked with, I'm still friends with them, and we work together again and again. So it's like the conversation we have, the relationship we have, it goes on. It's more important than the character, actually.
Because I can tell talking to you today, the film obviously had quite a profound effect on you. Is this quite natural for you with all of the projects you take, or was this one specifically really kind of touch you in a new way?
That's what I'm looking for in my job, is to be changed, to discover new things about humanity. I don't know if it's a big word, but yeah, about others, the similitudes, the differences. That's what I'm looking for. Yes, I'm not the same. That's true. This one, it's peculiar because the parts I was given before were younger than I was, and this one is older. So it kind of gives me maturity. And also, it's the first part that I'm treated as a beautiful woman, which is very new for me. So yes, for these two reasons, it was important. And also, it's the first part in which I'm not lonely. I'm lonely, but I'm with a man. So it's a different relationship with manship.
Do you find it easier to play older than you do younger? Then would you say can you connect more to a future you've not yet lived, to a past you've already experienced?
Actually, I think the parts I was asked to play before. I'm full of colors. I take a lot of room. I'm very energetic. I burst all the time, and for me it was kind of a prison at one point. So the fact that this character is very more introspective, doesn't show, you have to show everything, but she doesn't want to show everything. That was a lot of freedom for me, because I could imagine things. I could be very more freer in my head.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, actors so rarely get the luxury of shooting chronologically. Was it particularly hard in this instance because your character goes on such a subtle emotional journey? Was it a challenge at times to remind yourself where she was at different parts of the story?
Actually, it's part of my job to do this, and I'm always afraid before a shooting, because it's not shooted chronologically. I think I'm going to lose the story, but especially for this character, because I got lost at one point. It was really exhausting in a good way, because I don't know why. And also because we had to move, we have to go to Florence, we have to go to Russia, we had to go to Russia. And so at one point I was lost in translation. And so I think it helped me. And but I thought it would be a problem, because at one point I didn't control anything. I was just a plant.
Because I was wondering, I mean, obviously, sort of, as we sort of learned from the beginning of this interview, when you were on the phone and realizing projects at the moment, everything is changing all the time. Has it been a frustrating last year for you as an actress, or as an actor? Because it sounds like it's so hard to get projects underway, and from what I can gather speaking to you today, you seem like someone who just loves their job. And I guess this year it's been difficult for the arts, hasn't it, for cinema?
It was two things. First, I write and I play my own plays, and so as it was hard, I started to do a thing called Radio Tree. It's three talking to each other on the radio, talking about their lives. It's like free antenne, libre antenne. I don't know how you can say it. You can call, and if you have a problem, you're three, you talk about the problem you have, and I'm trying to answer to problems. So I invented this because I was feeling like a tree also, and it was maybe the right moment to find a way to talk about ecology in an artistic way. And also the second thing, to work less, because I obviously worked less. I think I found myself. I'm lucky because because I'm not in a sort of, I don't have money problems right now. I'm okay with money. If I had big problems, I wouldn't have that chance, I think. Or maybe I would.
Yeah. So is that a good thing? Are you quite pleased you've had this time of reflection?
I wouldn't be so positive, but in a way, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the same. I think
it's been. You?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've spent so much time just on my own. It's made me think about a lot. I think it's been one of the very few good things to come out of the last
time to reopen. But I know you have a new problems in England, and so I know that it might take a little bit of time to be in bars and in cinemas again, and I hope you will have a nice time until then.
Yeah, you too. And hopefully by this time next year, we'll be able to do UniFrance in person again. Fingers crossed.
And maybe see each other in Cannes.
Exactly.
Right?
Who fingers crossed. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a real
And I love Levi's.
and good luck with the movie. It's so wonderful and you're brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,